What's up, movie nerds and basketball geeks? Welcome back to Movie Ball. Welcome to episode 2 of my Dynasty League series. If you missed the first episode and you're interested in what it's all about and how our league works and the teams and all that shit, click the link in the description below. It's there, or you can just, search it yourself. You're lazy. So we're just going to dive right into the matchups and the winner of each one. So let's do it. First, we had me versus Gio in a non-competitive game the entire way through, with myself winning 733 to 465. This wasn't Gio's fault, though, as two of his top picks in DeAndre Ayton and Marvin Bagley have been sidelined for quite some time. In first week matchups, all players and fantasy owners are trying to find their footing, so it's never time to panic. But as I did predict, I don't think Gio's team is going to, contend or really compete in this league, and losing two of his really big-time players only cements that. I'm still going back and forth with my own squad, really trying to determine if my team is good enough to compete, and we'll get a clearer idea a few more weeks in, but for now, I'm still pretty confident that my team is not good enough to make the postseason. Anthony battled James this week, and again, it was another easy win, with James securing the dub 753 to 579. I can't tell if you can tell that I looked at my notes, but how am I going to remember fucking numbers like that are so specific like that? Just hop off my dick for a second, all right? But that's the beauty of this mask. You don't know what I'm doing under it, okay? I don't know what I'm talking about. But James has been playing, he played the entire first week without Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler hasn't played in the game thus far, and, it's pretty impressive. It's scary that his team is going to be really good. I told you this. I still think he needs to drop players such as Zach Collins and Kevon Looney, but we'll live with that for now. I predicted Anthony for a third place finish, and after the first week, his team looks a bit more average. Sure, Blake Griffin hasn't played and he's got an injury, and that could be a looming thing, as it always is with Blake, but he also still has Goga Pitadze, or whatever the fuck his name is. I still don't know why he has him. With our third matchup, we have a much closer finish in CJ beating Cam 565 to 466. This is either very disappointing for CJ for his team to only muster up this many points, or impressive for Cam considering his entire team is in the fucking morgue. But at the end of the day, it probably falls on both of them, both impressive and disappointing. But it doesn't matter for Cam if it's impressive, because fellow Dynasty League associates and members, I have breaking news. On Saturday, October 26th, Cam has decided to forego his return to the Dynasty League next year. Again, let me reiterate that. It has been less than a week into the Dynasty season, NBA season as a whole, and Cam has all but decided to give up on the Dynasty League. He claims that he doesn't like being a part of two leagues or multiple leagues, and I understand that to a point, right? We all have responsibilities and priorities that outweigh fantasy in any terms, and being a part of one league, if you really want to, pay attention and do good, and you gotta be focused on it, and having another league kind of aids to that. It makes things confusing if you're not prepared, and I think Cam wasn't too prepared for this idea, but he must have had some kind of knowledge about that going into it. Like I said, it's a plausible reason to a point, and being a part of more than just one highly competitive league could definitely be difficult, but I do think that reason is overshadowed by the fact that Cam had himself a poor draft, and he didn't really know what he wanted to do with his season, and he just doesn't like what he did so far, so he just wants to give up. After learning I would not give him his $10 back in joining the league. Yes, that's right. We all only did $10 as our buy-in because we were all new to Dynasty and we wanted to start off slow. But I told him, you're not getting that money back if I find someone to replace you, because I can't make, mid-season, right now, because I can't make someone else pay when the season's already started. They didn't get to draft or choose their team, And he was like, all right, then I'll play it out for the rest of the season, which if you don't want to be a part of two leagues, I don't think it really matters. It's $10. You're not going to win anyway, bro. It'll be difficult to find a replacement for Cam in the coming months. One, because it's just hard to find a replacement in a fantasy league of any caliber, never mind making that a dynasty league where there's already a team for someone. So giving someone this team and being like, hey, this is your team, even though you didn't create it, play dynasty with us and pay money. It's hard. But then, add to that Cam has now decided to drop some of his most valuable assets. John Wall, Kevin Durant, Yusuf Nurkic. He dropped all of these guys, and I understand that you're trying to go put all your chips into one basket and win this season, but it makes it hard. It makes it hard for for the future of Dynasty. And, even dropping those guys, I don't see what it's going to do. Adding players like Bojan Bogdanovic, it's not going to help you win. I'm severely disappointed in Cam. He was a loyal supporter of the Dynasty League and getting it started, and was he's a proven fantasy talent that I've been playing with for years in the regular format. I just think that Cam didn't realize all the work that he had cut out for him in making a dynasty team, and adding that to the fact that you're already handling and trying to be the GM of your own regular team. So it's a lot of work. You've got other shit going on in your life. I understand that. It's just, I'm disappointed. And I think, it's kind of pathetic that you would give up Cam after just less than a week into the season. And you're not giving up on the season, I understand that, but you're giving up on Dynasty as a whole with only, a whole matchup hadn't gone through. And I'm disappointed, bro. But you know what? CJ won this week. Moving over to a matchup with two clear contenders, Karthik got the better of Ish in their first duel, winning 790 to 450. Is that what it was? 790 to 540. It was close. I mixed some numbers up there, okay? But it was a pretty large margin at the end of the day, and considering I predicted Ish to win, it is a little alarming. But Ish's players simply played awful. De'Aaron Fox, D'Angelo Russell, Draymond Green, Chris Paul. As of the recording of this video, all of these guys are averaging under 13 fantasy points, aside from Draymond Green, who's averaging 16, but that's still not good, okay? I understand it's the beginning of the season. These guys are trying to figure it out. It happens. They should and they will play better. But, if they had played at least, I don't know, a little better, assuming they played a little better, Ish would only be down by like 100-point difference or so, not like 300. And the last matchup pitted Sam against Josh in another blowout win, with Sam winning 886 to 663. My prediction was right. Having LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Steph Curry all on the same team proved to be lethal. Add that in with the fact that players I weren't too high on are all killing it. Brandon Ingram, Malcolm Brogdon, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they are all playing like second or third round value. Add that in with the rest of Sam's very good core. He looks like, I know I said don't overreact, it's only the first week, but if these players keep it up, he's going to win the league. Now with all of the matchups out of the way, let's take a look at the conference standings after 1 week. The East has got Joe, Josh, Anthony, Cam, and Gio, with Joe securing the only win of the conference. Why am I talking in third person? I gotta win. Fucking weirdo. This looks to be a pretty weak conference, which might make Joe want to consider competing this year. At least someone from the East has to make the playoffs, and at this moment, I could only see it being Joe or Anthony. Moving over to the West, we've got Sam, Karthik, James, CJ, and Ish. The West right now, much like the actual NBA, is fucking stacked. It's only been 1 week, but everyone got a win here except Ish, and Ish's team should bounce back and be really good, so I don't know what's going to happen, but there's a chance all 5 teams could be in postseason contention. Now I'd like to move over to the Unfortunates, a section of the episode where I talk about notable injuries and missed time. Jimmy Butler missed 3 or 4 games due to the birth of his child, which is just unfortunate timing, but he should be coming back to the lineup like the next game. Maybe even by the time this video is published, he would have played already, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things for the Heat or for James, because James has Jimmy Butler, and like I said, he won this past matchup without breaking a sweat. Gio, on the other hand, is fucked. DeAndre Ayton was suspended 25 games for drug use. I don't know what drugs he put into his body, whether it was, steroids, smoke some weed, crystal meth, I don't know. But he was suspended 25 games, and that is a huge goddamn loss, not only for the Suns, but for Gio's fantasy relevance. This is a guy that could be averaging 20 points and 12 rebounds this season and just threw that all away. I mean, granted, he will be back after 25 games, but it'll probably be, I already said Gio's not going to contend, and losing him and Marvin Bagley, who is their a top like 4 or 5 pick that Gio chose him with. This guy had upside to really take another big step this season, and unfortunately, he has like a thumb fracture or something. He will be missing about 5 more weeks. These are key losses to Gio's already irrelevance, so if he thought he had a chance of making the postseason or doing something this year, that prediction I made has already pretty much cemented him as, just worry about the future, because he also has an injury in Dwight Powell, which I don't really, in my opinion, I don't think it's worth the stash, but Gio is holding on to him. He could have some fantasy relevance, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's a guy he's going to, bring back next season, so you should probably just drop him. But yeah, Gio, it's, he'll be a tougher matchup in the future when his players come back, but for now, I'm sorry, bro. Now we move over to the trade corner. The trade corner is just another, subject or topic in the Dynasty League series that I want to bring to light, just bringing it to episodes when, there's trades that go on in the league, just talking about them. And we've only had 2 trades so far, and the one trade I already talked about last week was Joe trading Damian Lillard to Josh for Pascal Siakam before the season even started. Both of these players, while they're both exceptional and they've both proven to be that this season, I know Joe is jerking it to the idea that he'll have Pascal Siakam for years to come. I'm jerking off. But like I said, Lillard is still doing very good as expected. I just don't know if it was the smartest idea for Josh, considering he's not going to make much of an impact this season. He should look to, hold on to younger players, and Lillard is basically equivalent to Pascal Siakam in fantasy status at this moment at least, and Siakam's only going to get better, so he's probably wishing he didn't pull the trigger on that one. Although on last week's episode, I did mention that Josh has been active in trade talks, which is a good sign about caring for his team. And with that comes the second trade, which also involved Josh, and it is the complete opposite of his first trade. This time around, he traded Clint Capella to Cam for Donovan Mitchell. This is just shocking that Cam did this trade. But like I said, it is the opposite of Josh's initial trade. He now got younger talent in, instead of, Clint Capella's young, but Donovan Mitchell is supposed to be and looks to be a very great player. I don't know why Cam did this. I understand he doesn't care about Dynasty, or, I guess he does, but, he's trying to win now. But Clint Capella and Donovan Mitchell are pretty similar, and even if Clint Capella's a little better right now for fantasy relevance, why would you only trade for straight up you're gonna let, even if you don't care about the future of your team, why would you let Josh get away with not giving you any draft picks or any other second tier players? You just can't let another player get someone that good for that cheap, someone that is hailed as the next Dwayne Wade. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're all over the place. And now for the final section of the video, I call Top 5. Top 5 is an idea I have that every week I will do a top 5 kind of ranking in terms of where NBA players are doing in certain categories. In the future, I might come back to, topics that I have already said and done in episodes. But basically, I'll show you and you'll understand better. For now, I want to talk about the top 5 rookies in my eyes after week 1. At number 5, I've got Ja Morant. Morant flashed his potential in those first 2 games of his, and we all know he's going to be a special player in the years to come, but it wasn't until that overtime victory against the Nets that secured Ja a spot on this list. Not only did he drop an efficient 30 points, he also had 9 dimes, and aside from that, he made a game-saving block on Kyrie Irving, one of the clutchest players in the league. That was a fantastic performance, and you can only expect for Ja to continue to flourish and find his rhythm throughout the rest of the season. At number 4, I've got PJ Washington. After dropping 27 points in his first ever NBA game and leading the Charlotte Hornets to a win, I was already very impressed. After he went undrafted in our league, he was picked up by moi, and I was very lucky to get him because then he gave me a double-double around 21 points or so. He will have his shooting woes, but with, not a clear roster and players that can go around forever on this team, he's going to get a load of minutes, and I hope that he becomes someone that is so special that he is worth holding on to for Dynasty. At number 3, I have Rui Hachimura of the Washington Wizards. Smartly drafted by Anthony, this Wizards team has no offense after Bradley Beal and Thomas Bryant. And that is, Thomas Bryant is your second option. Not that he's a bad player. He's good. He's fantasy relevant as hell. But second best player on the team, you then go to Rui Hachimura as the third. He's thrust into this role, with his size, strength, and versatility. Hachimura could have a great season and future as well, especially on this Wizards team. He's already performing admirably, averaging 16 points and 8 rebounds. Coming in at number 2 is Kendrick Nunn. Nobody knows who the fuck this guy is. If a Heat rookie was supposed to go off, especially in the absence of Jimmy Butler, it was supposed to be Tyler Hero, right? And not that Tyler Hero has been awful. He hasn't been good per se, but it's obvious that he's a rookie and he's going to have to find his rhythm. But with Kendrick Nunn, this dude's playing like an NBA vet and not even a role player, a player that can like do it all, already averaging 24 fantasy points. Hopefully this dude can keep it up with his efficient shooting and just all around play. I hope that, when Jimmy Butler comes back, he can still be very relevant. And coming in at number 1, it makes me so goddamn happy to say this as a Knicks fan, RJ Barrett. Not only is he, playing both sides of the floor, averaging almost 3 steals. He looks like he could be the Knicks' best scorer already. 21 points per game he's averaging through 3 games, and I know it's a small sample size, and he will have his horrendous shooting nights and costly turnovers, but this is amazing news for fantasy owners and for Knicks fans. He looks special. He's going to be good. It's sick. And that does it for Dynasty League Episode 2. I hope you've enjoyed it up to this point. I really like this series, and I just like sharing my league with you guys. So make sure you smash that like button, extra hard. Pour one out to Cam, RIP, to probably the youngest Dynasty career ever. Just smash that like button. Smash it like Cam smashing his phone after looking at his shit roster. Just kidding, Cam. But not really.